Welcome back to my channel, Choose Joy with Carmen. Today I am sharing the card that I created for this month's Oh So Inspired. I am part of this collaboration team that is organized by Alicia from Call Me Crafty Owl. To see the other videos that the team members have created, you can click on the hashtag in the title or in the description box below. If the hashtag is not working as it should, then you will find in the description box a playlist link that you can use instead. However, these links need to be updated, so give Alicia some time to get them updated. So here is a picture of this month's inspiration, and this was created by Carol H. from Crafting by Carol. You can find a link to this card in the description box. And if you want to play along and create your own design, then we would love to see what inspired you from this card. You can post to any social media platforms using the hashtag that is also provided in the description. So now let's look at the products that I used, and then we can take a look at the card that I created. So when I first saw her card, I was like, oh my gosh, this is gorgeous. And I wanted to do the same technique that she did with the embossing folder, but it just was not working out for me. In the summertime, the humidity is really high here in the basement, and I have a dehumidifier, but the ink pads can get really, really juicy. So I couldn't get it to work as well because it was puddling up in the areas where it shouldn't have on the embossing folder and all that. So I just trashed that idea and decided to go with a whole different idea. Because I love that cabin look and that whole woodsy look, I decided to pull out my paper pumpkin kit from May of this year. And in that kit, they have some beautiful papers. So as you can see, I'm using this card base from that kit. And this is the part that was left over. So I basically cut off this part to use on my card. And you'll see that the way I cut it down, I had a strip left here that I could use on the inside of the card. So that's what I'm using for my card. And it got crazy because let me tell you, I wanted to make a scene. So I am using on the Horizon stamp set, and in this one I believe I only used the birds. And then Colorful Seasons, I used the Sentiment, which is Just Breathe and Life is a Beautiful Thing. And then from the Grassy Grove, I used this little grassy area here. And I think that was it from that set. See, this is crazy, isn't it? Then from the Elephant Parade, I didn't use any of the stamps, but I used the dies, these two dies that are in this set. And you'll see how I use them on the card. And then the Peaceful Cabin. And I used a lot of the dies, and I used, of course, the cabin and the little fox. But here's the thing with this is you'll see that like this cabin's supposed to be, looks like it's supposed to be in the snow. Well, I didn't want my scene to look like that because I was doing like a summer scene. So you'll see how I changed that up to look differently than it had snow. Then, of course, I used some Stampin' Blends and markers. And I also pulled in these loose daisy embellishments so that I could use them on my card as well. So let's pull in the card and see what I created. Here it is. So here is where I did the birds and the Just Breathe, and I know that you could, it was a big sentiment. and you can, it kind of went over the trees and stuff, but I kind of like how it faded in there. And then the cabin, so that was challenging because like I told you, the ink pads get really inky with the humidity. So I ended up having to ink it with the copper clay, and then I took a sponge dauber and I kind of took off a lot of the ink that was pulling up because it was making this cabin look funny. So, and I don't remember if I did it that way or if I ended up just inking my stamp with a dauber and ink. And so because I wanted it to not look like it had snow, I colored the roof and then made those little lines to make it look like it was shingles on there. And just kind of added some more lines and tried to do a different color up here. So I just kind of played around with the cabin to make it look more summery instead of wintry like it was intended. And then here are, I had these 3 dies here that I also took out of that Peaceful Cabin set and just die cut some more of those trees and added them there. Um, you really can't tell, but at the bottom of this cabin, there's like an area there. So let me show you on the stamp set. So there's this area here, right? And so I kind of just colored that in the green to make it look like grass, and then that part, the little shadows that's right there, I left it the copper clay, but then I thought that kind of looks like a path, right? But you really can't see it because I've covered up so much other stuff here. And then I had that little fox right there, and then those little sprigs that I die cut out of that elephant set. So you can see this grassy part in the back there, but like I said, I put so many layers of, because I wanted it to look really like a, flower bed basically. And then I put those little flowers there on the tips of that die cut that I did 3 of them there. So I was really inspired by her card to make it look, the cabin is what really inspired me and all the trees. And so that's why I chose what I did. Then you open it up and there's that piece that I talked about that I cut off of the side here and was able to put it inside. And then there's my sentiment. So that's my inspiration for this month. It was a lot of work, but it was fun creating. This would be really cute to frame if you wanted to, make a little scene like that and frame it and give it as a gift to someone. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks so much for stopping by. If you liked what I created, then I would really appreciate a thumbs up. And, it's just so much fun to do these monthly because you never know where the inspiration's gonna take you. Now, don't forget to check out all the other cards created by the other team members. It's so fun to see how they were each inspired by this month's card. So hope to see you all next month on our next Oh So Inspired. So until my next video, remember, choose joy, and may God bless you all. Bye-bye.